Have you ever watched a terrible movie all the way through or overstuffed yourself at an all-you-can-eat buffet just to say you got your money's worth? If so, then you've experienced the sunk cost fallacy. Sunk cost fallacy is a term coined by Daniel Kahneman that won him this little prize of the Nobel sort in 2002. It's used to describe a phenomenon in the human brain. It says that once we spend time, money, or resources on something, we're more likely to then invest more time, money, or resources into that thing just because we don't like the idea of wasting what we've already spent. It's an escalation of commitment by our aversion to loss. It's the reason people keep buying lottery tickets, because one day they'll make it all back. It's the reason we all sat through season 8 of Game of Thrones. We'd invested so much time and energy into the first near-perfect 7 seasons, and even though we all know we should have stopped watching after season 8 episode 3, we just had to stick it out until the end because we come this far. And look how that turned out. Dracarys. It's making a decision on past losses instead of future returns. It's why you stuff yourself at a buffet. You're out the same amount of money whether you stuff yourself sick or not. But in your mind, eating enough food to feed a village in one sitting justifies the cost. Big-time retailers know all about the sunk cost fallacy, and they use it to their advantage. Companies like Amazon or Lululemon and thousands of others offer memberships and membership perks on top of that. It could be a $40 membership fee, but once you're a member, you get 50% off goods, or free shipping, or whatever. These perks subliminally incentivize you to buy more in order to get your money's worth out of that subscription. Or imagine you open your wallet and you pull out a 20% off coupon to Bed Bath & Beyond and you see that it expires tomorrow. So you rush to the store before they close so you don't waste the opportunity to save some money. But it's just an illusion. You didn't save anything. You spent it. It's the age-old tale of a wife coming home with an armful of bags and explaining to her husband how much money she saved them because everything was on sale.
Travis, that's kind of an outdated joke, don't you think?
Women be shopping. Now, what can you do about it? Just being aware of the sunk cost fallacy is enough to start holding yourself accountable when you need to cut your losses. It's knowing when to quit, because you gotta know when to hold them, when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. Never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Rest in peace, Kenny. Now, another example of the sunk cost fallacy, a slightly more depressing example, is when it applies to relationships. Tom and Susie have been together for 5 years, but they aren't happy anymore. They fight all the time, they bicker, it's just not fun anymore. But they can't just break up because that would mean that the last 5 years would have just been a waste, right? Sunk cost. Those 5 years have been spent. You're not gonna get them back, and you're making a decision on past losses instead of future returns. Could be time to cut your losses. Now, I want to follow that up by reminding you that this is a finance tip channel and not a relationship tip channel. I'm sure the sunk cost fallacy is responsible for holding together many a marriage, and I'm certainly not wanting to be responsible for anyone ending their relationships today. Actually, you know what? I don't care. Just tell me how it goes in the comments. Now, the point of this video is not to make you give up or quit all of your investments. It's simply to make you aware of a flaw that's in all of our brains in order to avoid making irrational decisions, financial or not. Just remember, the only thing that matters are future gains. Past losses are irrelevant. What are some other examples of the sunk cost fallacy? If you can think of any more examples of the sunk cost fallacy, be sure to put them in the comments below. And don't forget to dislike this video if you hate my face, and definitely don't come back the same time next week for a new episode. See you never.
Don't